Happy August, guys. Let's get into planning this month. So let me start off with telling you how I reset for the month. The things I did to reset for the month were I reorganized, decluttered my kids' toys. I detailed that in my mid-year reset video. Not the planning one, but I had one where I was actually showing you guys what I did. So that was towards the end of July. It helped me move into August, not feeling so scattered and cluttered by all the toys and chaos of my two toddlers. I have a 4-year-old and a 3-year-old. So, you know, all those toys, they accumulate and it's so much and it really wears on you in the back of my mind. It was nice to just kind of organize all of that and also give them more space to play freely without all the clutter of having so many toys, and really going back to that system of rotating toys versus just having everything out at their disposal to just kind of knock out and play with all the time. So I did that to reset. I also want to give you guys a garden update. I've been doing that in all these monthly reset videos. Our tomatoes are growing nicely. I'm very proud of them. I'll put another clip of them. They're getting a lot of sun, requiring a lot of water, but I will say the snakes that I bought as well as the owl that I bought helped deter some of the bunnies and little pesky animals that were trying to take my tomatoes. I'll link it down below, but if you have a garden, you have pests, try these like fake snakes and this motion activated owl, and you might be surprised how it helps you really just keep the pest away. So that's a little garden update. The tomatoes are doing well. And another thing that I've been doing to kind of reset and restart is getting back in the habit of shining my sink. So if you use the cleaning system Fly Lady Cat, there's the Fly Lady system, and then there's Fly Lady Cat here on YouTube, as well as Homemaking with Denise. They really kind of make the Fly Lady system more practical. So if you want to learn more about it, I'll put the link to them below. But I really like that system, and one of the tenets that I got away from in June, because I had a lot of really hard news, difficult news in June, so I was really struggling with my mental health. So one of the things I'm doing that I started back doing at the end of July as I'm moving back towards feeling better is reinstituting the shining your sink philosophy. And what this philosophy is basically is each night you make sure that your sink is clean, and then once a week I do like a really deep cleaning of my sink. It's like a catalyst behavior, so it sets the tone of just getting you back in the habit of closing down your kitchen at night, and you'll see like a domino effect once you start making that a priority. You can't just leave just your sink clean. You want other things to be clean, like all the flat surfaces, and you just kind of get back in the routine. So that's something I also did to reset for the month. So as we move into planning this month of August, it's kind of helpful to remind ourselves where we are within the 12 weeks. So we're moving into week 5 of the 12-week year if you're doing it by the quarters of the year. So this is the second month within the 3-month system. So it's really like doubling down on our goals and making sure that we're on track. And this is really our chance to make sure that the quarterly goals we set for ourselves, even if we maybe didn't start off as with a bang as we wanted to, right? Now this time of the second month of the quarter is to kind of reassess what we need to go a little bit harder on, because we have 2 months left in our 12-week year. So I'm going to pull out my Mod Ambition Planner. You guys are welcome to pull out your own or use any planning system that you use, or pen and paper, and let's get to planning the month of August. Before we dive into the month of August, I like to take a minute and kind of check in with how I did with my last month's goals, so for the month of July. So my first monthly goal for July was to organize my kids' toys. As we already talked about, I can mark this off as a success, and I was able to get that done. My second goals for July were about nurturing my family, which is one of my larger moon goals, if you will. My yearly goal is to nurture my family and to really pour into my family this year in a way that helps them flourish, particularly my children. And so I had the goal of weekly swim lessons, because me and my husband are teaching them to swim, not by choice, because all the swim lessons were full that I tried to get them in. This year I waited a little bit too long. And then also daily speech, well, during the weekdays, practice with my son, who is in speech therapy. So he has his like speech therapy homework, which we have been good at in July. June was a different story. And then daily literacy, which we've probably been doing that about three or four times a week, but I definitely noticed like on Friday nights we don't do either the speech actually or the practicing their letter sound. So I would give myself like a halfway mark on that. It's definitely something I want to keep working on as we move into August. And then my fourth goal for the month of July was to finish this product that I've been working on, this product that I'm actually going to be launching this month, which I will be telling you guys about soon. And I was able to do it. I really buckled down in the month of July and just got it done. Not only did I create the product, it's a product, so I'll tell you guys what it is. It's a Notion template of how I organize my life. It's my total organization system using the tenets of getting things done and building a second brain. I also created a Notion template for the 12-week year. I have a free PDF one that if you've seen any of my videos, I'm usually telling you guys about, but I also wanted to create one digitally for the digital girls. And also I find myself that it might be easier to track digitally. So I created those two products, but also when you create a product, anybody that's ever created a digital product, you know, that's not just creating the template, which is like the fun part because it's a system I use in my own life. So then basically I was just making it pretty, making it more functional for you guys, but I also had to create the landing pages. I had to write the product descriptions. I had to figure out how to get it on my store, how to provide a digital product, and then do all the instruction videos, all those kinds of things. So I'm happy I was able to get all of that done because I really do think that it's a template that can drastically improve the lives of folks that watch this channel, particularly ambitious, busy women. So I wanted to be sure to get it out in time for August when people are going back to school, when moms are preparing for their kids to go back to school. We're kind of getting back into routines in August and September after the summer break. So it was really important to me if I want to help people with this in a timely manner to get it done in July, and I'm very proud to say I did. So let's move into some reflection work that can help us plan the month. Before we do that, I do want to make sure I ask you, how did you do with your goals last month? Were you able to meet them? Take a moment to check in with your own progress with your goals for July. So let's move into this month. We have in the Mod Ambition Planner, here on the side is where we do our reflection work. You can do it there, or you can do it on your own in a journal or digitally, however you prefer. I like to start with looking at my wins for the previous month. June, I didn't do kind of a monthly review video as I moved into July. So a lot of you guys don't know, I had a really tough June. July was kind of trying to get back on track. I found out a very close family member, my mom, got some, I don't want to put all her business out there, but she got some really difficult diagnosis that was not only, I'm sure, hard for her, but it was devastating news for me. So that kind of sent me into a spiral of just sadness and, you know, all the typical feelings that come along with a loved one being ill. I also had some other family issues going on with other family members moving to hospice. I also have another family member struggling with substance use. So June was particularly hard. So July was a lot about really leaning into my faith in God that, you know, He's going to heal my mother and that I can cope and she can cope with the journey that will look like. So leaning into faith, getting back on track with my mood, getting back into therapy, all those kinds of things. So my wins and challenges are kind of based on a lot of getting back on track. Our family vacation, we went on vacation to Great Wolf Lodge, which my kids loved. Oh my goodness, so much fun. I had a lot of fun. My husband had a lot of fun. We went hiking, we did the water park, all the things. And then I also in July got some good news about treatment options for my mother. So that actually was what helped me with my mood the most, just getting that hope. Very hopeful news, which I'm so grateful for. Another win was allowing myself to feel. A lot of times when I get sad or really anxious, it's hard for me to make contact with my emotions. I do struggle with OCD, so I go more into trying to control everything and that type of thing. So it was important for me to take time to let myself feel the grief that I was feeling, the loss that I was feeling, the anger that I was feeling, which is hard for me to be still and not just lean into work more. So that was definitely when restarting therapy. Again, in June, I fell off with therapy me because I was just so sad. I fell off with a lot of things. So restarting therapy was definitely a win in July. Another win was my husband's support. So supportive of me in June, but also in July, helping me more with the kids, letting me sleep in. He always brings me like coffee in the morning and things like that, but he's a very supportive husband. But he knew that I was having a hard time, and he stepped up a lot with things around the house and things with the kids and talking me through certain situations. And I could cry thinking about it. Don't tell him, but very grateful for him. And another one was, even through all of that, I've been able to be consistent with my content, which is something really important to me, something I value. I really want to build a community here where I could help women like myself that are busy and have lots of big goals and dreams, and help, you know, women struggling with burnout, overwhelm, and that want to enjoy their life. And so I don't want to lose that momentum of building that type of community and support in my videos and my social media and all those sorts of things. What helped me honestly was batching. So I had done a lot of pre-film things that kind of just got me through. I did stop doing my lives because I just wasn't in the headspace, but I want to get back to that. What were your wins for the month of July? Just take a moment and think about what you're grateful for, what worked for you in this last month. Now we'll move into what were the challenges. I've talked about them a lot. My difficult family situations. I was feeling really depressed and anxious, and I did have lower sales, although sales being lower for me in June is expected. It's not the time that people really have planning on their mind, so generally it's something that I expect. What were your challenges for the month of July, and what lessons can you learn to take with you into the month of August to capitalize off of what you learned? Now, my intention for the month is high energy. I want to feel energized. I want to feel vibrant. I want to wake up in the morning not feeling like already tired in the day, like I need to chug a cup of coffee. I really want to feel high energy because I am introducing a product that I really believe in, this Notion template of building a second brain. And I want to have the energy to tell people about it and to get the word out so it can actually help folks and not just be shy about sharing it. So I want to have the high energy that's needed to launch anything. And so I really want to be taking care of myself. I really want to be mindful of my sleep, all those kinds of things, so I can have the energy to put out into the world something I've been working so hard on and that I know can help people. So what's your intention for the month that's really going to help you inform the rest of your goals for the month? Just think about, what do you intend for this month? What's, like, if you had to boil it down, your main intention? So now let's talk about how I want to feel this month. I really want to feel faithful, relying on faith in my higher power, faith in myself, faith in my ability to cope with things in this chaotic world. So faithful, energetic, like I said, and I want to feel accepting, mainly accepting of my emotional experience, because that helps me keep down my OCD symptoms. Really being able to accept my emotions, even those difficult ones, instead of trying to do things to avoid them, like working too much or over consuming content, like being addicted to my phone. Those are a lot of my things. Intellectualizing, those are all kind of my things I do not to feel, and I really want to accept how I feel and honor that instead of putting energy into avoiding them or trying to get rid of them. So how do you want to feel this month? That's going to be helpful in your planning as well. Moving on to this month's priority. So now that we have our intention and how we want to feel, can you think about your priority for this month? For me, it is to launch my product. I really want to put it out to the world with confidence and finally get it out there. So that's my priority. What's your priority for this month? So now let's talk about our goals. It helps to remind yourself of your yearly goals and your quarterly goals, which I've already done before walking into this, but take a moment to remind yourself, what are your yearly goals for the year? Mine are total wellness, nurturing my family, expanding my business. And what are your quarterly goals for the year? My quarterly goals lean into a lot of my yearly goals. There's quite a few here. I'm not going to read all through them, but take a moment to think about your own. And so that leads me into my monthly goals. So my monthly goals are consistent therapy. I want to at least go 3 times a week, and I want to be asleep by 10 p.m. Those are both my goals for wellness for this month. I've been staying up really late working or just on my phone, and I gotta nip that in the bud. So then I have some business goals for the month. Launch my new products, weekly lives. I want to get back in the groove, like I said, of community. So I will be going live every week to get back in the groove in the month of August, and then I'll go back to every 2 weeks. But I thought could be fun, since I'm kind of coming back, to do it weekly so we can talk, we can hold each other accountable. So that will be my goal for the month of August. So join me and hold me accountable if you can. I also want to have my weekly newsletter. So this was something that I had started doing, and I kind of fell off as things got wonky for me mental health wise. And then for nurturing my family goals, I want to get back into the weekly swim lessons, and again, those daily practicing of the letter sounds with my son, practicing blending with my daughter, and then also my son has some speech therapy homework that we'll be doing every weeknight. What are your monthly goals for the month of August? So if you use the strategies in the 12-week year, you also are going to use your monthly goals or monthly priorities to make your tactics, your lead goals that are going to help you get to those monthly goals. I will be doing that in my live, just not to make this video too long, and I'll walk you through how to do that for yourself as well, all your lead goals and exactly how to make them. So be sure to join me on my Friday lives. If you're not sure what I'm talking about and you just want an overview of the 12-week year and how to implement it, I'll put up the last video I did on the 12-week year for you to watch next. And until next time, cheers to planning, manifesting, and enjoying your dream life. Namaste.